Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be putting together and reviewing the Assaulter Belt System V3 from GBRS Group. If you guys have been around the channel for a while, you know things about me like I am a gear nerd. I've always been a gear nerd. This Assaulter Belt System is the latest and greatest from GBRS Group. If you guys aren't familiar with them, they're a group of guys who are former Tier 1 Navy guys. They do a lot of knowledge transfer content on the internet, and they make some really cool gear. So with this belt system, this is what you get. Inner belt, outer belt. We'll go over those more here in a minute. You get a single rifle mag pouch. You get a double pistol mag pouch. You get the Modular Holster Adapter from True North Concepts, and you get the leg strap for it. This one I got in multicam, and it is a size medium. There's sizing information on GBRS's website. Make sure you pay attention to the sizing instructions. We'll start with the inner belt. This is the V3 inner belt. The Velcro on here is all the way around. It's got a nice overlap, and the hook field faces away from you to reduce irritation. This thing is nice and stiff, so it can absolutely double as a non-metallic EDC belt. This is the outer belt. This thing is very stout. It's made out of 7,000-pound webbing. It's got MOLLE all the way around. It's got full hook fields all the way on the inside, so it locks up nice and tight to that inner belt. So, important to figure out your sizing. So this is a battle belt style setup. So you want to figure out, it is not necessarily your pant size, but you need to figure out what works for you size-wise. And then this is your adjustment right here. So this Velcro strap comes off, and this feeds through the buckle just kind of like any other belt buckle. Figure out what works for you. I've sized this one for me, and then this strap goes back on. That's kind of a belt keeper. Then you need to start figuring out where you want all of your accessories. And it depends on what you're going to be using the belt for. If you are in some kind of operational capacity, if you're a police officer, if you're in the military, some kind of private security deal, something like that, you're going to want to take certain things into consideration versus if you're setting this up for the range as more of a competition style belt. So for instance, with a competition style belt, you might want your magazines for your pistol more up front for a quicker draw. You also might want them open top with no retention, just passive retention. If you're going to be running and gunning and actively using this thing in situations where people can get hurt, you might want to consider things like bungee retention, which these mag pouches come with the ability to add bungee retention. It comes separately, so if you want to run them open top like this, you can. I have used both in the past, and I will tell you it depends completely on two things. One is your purpose for the belt, like I said before, and the other is personal preference and how much retention the holster itself provides. So for me, this will largely be a range belt. So I'm going to go to the second MOLLE space on my left-hand side to mount my pistol mags. Older traditional sewn-on MOLLE was a little bit looser and there was more material, so it's kind of easier to feed the MOLLE straps through. Newer, better equipment like this is very, very stiff. So you're going to want a tool of some kind. It can be a flathead screwdriver. It can be anything that you can put through the MOLLE pouches to open them up a little bit to make life a little bit easier on yourself. So I'm putting this through here and just kind of opening it up. Go down to the next one. Open it up. So here's the pistol mag pouch mounted up. I've got it on the second MOLLE space back on my left side. That's what it looks like from the inside with the MOLLE attached. I will tell you, when I put this thing on, it is very secure, and I do not have the bungee retention attached. So I put two full-size mags in here, and they are very secure. So if I was going to be using this operationally, I would probably put the bungee retention on because of running, jumping, climbing, things like that. But for my purposes here, I'm not going to put the bungee retention on. Onto the rifle mag pouch. Again, this is up to you. A lot of guys like to run it more to the 7 o'clock position if you're a right-hander. That's to keep the side of you kind of slick so you don't build out your profile. I like to have it right behind my hip, right here. Okay, we've got our rifle mag pouch on here. Again, has about the same level of retention as the pistol mag pouches. Remember to be aware of which way your rounds are facing. I'm right-handed, so this is going to sit on my left side. I want it with the bullets to the rear so that when I draw it, it's ready to insert into the rifle. We'll go over that more later. Moving on, we are going to get to this modular holster adapter. This thing is pretty cool. I have never run one like this. First time. Typically, I use Safariland DFAs, which are plastic. It does away with the nylon strap that most drop leg holsters come with, and it makes it more of a rigid frame, but it is still plastic, so there's a lot of movement in it. This thing is aluminum, completely rigid. This is a super cool idea. People are going to say, well, what about when you have to sit down, or what about getting in and out of a vehicle, or things like that? Yep, that's a thing. If you want security and you want things to be nice and tight, not move around and be exactly where you want them, so every time you reach to draw that pistol, it's in the exact same place, you might have to deal with a little bit of uncomfortability. That being said, that goes for all things. Your everyday carry should be comfortable, but you got to sacrifice a little bit of comfort for security. So, end of rant. Then I'm going to take my pistol and I'm going to set it right where I want it when I draw. Now, I've done this a million times, and if you haven't, you might need to mount the thing and then move it if it's not right where you want it. I know exactly where on a drop leg holster like this that I want my pistol to ride. So, right here, I'm going to mark here on my belt. I'm going to put my screwdriver in it so I don't lose my spot. The way this thing mounts to the belt is with 2 bars across the back. These are aluminum as well. The bars mount in to the faceplate. So I got the first one on there, kind of loose. I got the second one right here. It goes right here. So the way these work, there's these little nut inserts like this that go on the back side. If you've ever worked with Safariland gear, they're very similar to that. So that sits inside the hole on the bar. And there's a bolt that goes through the front. And there's these rubber washers that go in between so the aluminum doesn't collapse. So you put this, you hold this up like that, start the bolt through the front, and then you got to get that rubber washer in between. The bolts are Phillips head, the nuts are flathead. So when you get them in there, it looks like that. We're going to tighten it until that rubber washer starts to deform just a little bit. We don't want to crush them because this is aluminum and you will bend it. So there, we've got our modular holster adapter mounted up to the belt. Next up, we've got the leg strap. This is from True North Concepts as well. It is made to go specifically with the modular holster adapter. So it mounts the same way. It's got this bracket on it. It has bolts. It has the same little nut inserts that go on the backside of the modular holster adapter. This thing can be adjusted for ride height based on your body type. I've already measured this on myself, and this is where I want it to ride. But there are different mounting options, and you should figure out which one works best for you. A lot of times guys want the latest and greatest gear. They don't want to take the time to fine tune it for themselves. Even if you're only going to use your gear for the range or as a hobbyist or something like that, you should also take the time to take care of and optimize your gear. Now, there are a lot of gear nerds out there who rely on gear almost in place of training. Your gear, any gear, will never be as important as training. If you are going to spend time, effort, or money on something as it relates to gunfighting, the first time and effort and money you spend should be on training, without question. If you are buying expensive gear, but you don't know how to shoot, you're doing it wrong. We've got everything mounted up on the belt except the holster. I prefer Safariland's QLS mount. It's tried and true. I've used them for lots of years. They're interchangeable. They're very secure. I love them. So I'm going to put a female QLS fork on the Modular Holster Adapter. There is adjustability in this thing for both ride height and cant. You can cant this thing up to 10 degrees forward or 10 degrees backwards. So you got 20 degrees of swing to change your holster angle. For a belt like this, I like just a very slight cant forward, not even 10 degrees. Here's the QLS fork mounted on the Modular Holster Adapter. That's from the outside looking in. That's what it looks like on the inside. This is the holster that I use currently for my SIG P320X5 Legion. It has the Safariland male QLS fork on the back. So this goes right in the female fork and it's locked in. Hey guys, here is the GBRS Group Assaulter Belt System V3. This thing feels really, really good. It's very tight, secures to the inner belt very well. The Cobra buckle is legit. The holster mount, I'm very excited about. It's very solid. I can still move with it. This thing is not so rigid, the belt itself, that you can't move, right? It's not super bulky. It's about the size of a regular thick leather belt. I love the attachment points so far, but you'll notice that I didn't put a drop of Loctite on anything. Should you Loctite your gear? Yes, absolutely. Anything you're going to be running and gunning with that comes with Loctite or has nuts and bolts that hold it together, you should absolutely Loctite. I did not do that yet because I don't know if I like this thing on the range yet. Haven't been out with it. Now, GBRS Group has a ton of credibility and they make really good looking and feeling gear. But if you don't test your gear, you're doing it wrong. You got to take your gear out and test it before you make it a permanent staple. So this is my initial review on the GBRS Group Assaulter Belt System V3. So far, I really, really like it. I'm going to take it out to the range. I'm going to beat it up, run and gun with it, and I'll be back with that review. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a like. Leave a comment. That helps us out. Check out GBRS Group. We'll leave a link in the description. Remember, you're made in the image of God, and He loves you.